policeman.
So basically, he's told us that here in the favela, he went out and deep in the favela, he's spoken with the gangsters. He said there's no police jurisdiction here. Basically, they run the neighborhood, inshallah ta'ala, so that we're going to walk through. He already spoke with the guy who's on top, and he gave him specific instructions saying, listen, when you come through, there may be guys with guns standing outside. Don't be nervous. As long as we're with Cobb, nothing is going to happen to us, inshallah ta'ala. We can't film any of the gangsters, absolutely no filming at all, inshallah ta'ala. He said that he'll tell us who we can film, when we can film, and when we cannot film, inshallah ta'ala. So we want everybody to follow those directions and those instructions, inshallah, and we should be fine, inshallah. Everything should be safe, inshallah ta'ala.
Que, na verdade, falta tudo. Educação, saúde. Na verdade, é o que falta em todas as periferias, nas comunidades carentes. Aqui não é diferente, não.
So basically saying here we have multiple problems. You know, the main problems that you're going to encounter, obviously you have drug trafficking, but he said some of the main issues that people are in need of, education, health, but many problems that other municipalities are having of poor communities. So all the poor communities within the municipality are going through the same issues. Either it be drugs, either it be violence, but the people that are living within this community, they need social services, they need education, they need health, they need assistance. He basically came to Islam through the street culture, through the hip-hop movement.
Yeah. Eu conheci através do livro do Malcolm X, lendo Malcolm X. Na verdade, eu conheci o Islã através do livro mesmo.
So basically, one of the main ways that he actually learned about Islam is by reading Alex Haley's biography of Malcolm X. That was the main way that he learned about Islam.
E a partir daí eu conheci algumas pessoas. Comecei a frequentar, mas como é muito longe e como a gente, tipo assim, como líder comunitário, as pessoas acabam vendo a sua mudança, né? Porque antigamente eu era meio vida louca, assim, andava no meio da bagunça e tal, e comecei devagar a me podar sobre algumas coisas, o bar, a bebida, sabe? O próprio rap, porque como eu cantava rap, eu peguei e falei, pô, vou dar um tempo, parei por causa da questão musical, que me incomodava também, quando eu descobri que não podia música, aí eu parei, tá ligado?
So basically he's saying that until he was able to get the knowledge and until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the actual correct information, he started saying, you know what, I have to give up this vida loca, this crazy lifestyle of drinking and of singing hip-hop. And then like he actually said, you know, even though I came to the hip-hop movement, I knew very later on, once the knowledge was received, that, you know, this is not right. So he actually put a complete stop in the hip-hop movement. And because he's a community leader, many people looked up to him and people were seeing how he changed himself. And now many people are actually looking up to him to see, wow, you know, you've changed your life for the best. E agora, depois desse momento, tem pessoas que estão entrando no Islam e querem saber de Islam?
A musala é a resposta.
He said the musalla is the response to your question about people coming into Islam. So if they had to make a musalla, it's because they need a place to pray. So the answer is there's many people coming into Islam, but there's many more people wanting to learn about Islam.
O que vai ser dele?
Yeah, one of the problems that he's saying that here is like many people going to accept Islam in the masjid, but when they accept Islam, what next? They have no guidance, they have nobody there, they don't have a da'i, they don't have anybody to actually take them and say, hey, let's actually go through a process. And that's what's lacking over here. So he says, as a community leader, I can only do so much and I do with very little that I have. So he's trying his best to help out the fellow converts here in this community. So basically one of the main guys that we saw that was walking around with us, he was like, you know, what you consider like the chief of this neighborhood. So that's more of a nice way. He was one of the main drug traffickers that's part of a mafia. And basically, you know, he's the guy that if anything goes, it has to go through him. He's a person that saw, and because he knows Brother Cobb and in his days of Jahiliyyah, he's a person that respects Cobb and respects the message that we're bringing. And even at one point, you know, he had a cross of Jesus, alayhi salam, and I had asked him, you know, what do you know about Islam? And he said, honestly, I'm very sorry. He's like, I don't know nothing at all about Islam other than what the media has said. So I explained to him in a very few words what Islam is, and he says, you know, wow, that's amazing. I never knew that. You know, one of the amazing things is this brother was part of the hip hop movement. He was part of the black movement here in Brazil, and he's an activist. You know, he was part in his jahiliyahs. He was part of the trafficking that went along here, and he was somebody that was considered like a chief amongst this town. And because when he came into Islam, many people said, you know, out of all the religions that you chose, why Islam? You know, why Islam? Why? That was the question they asked him, why Islam? And he said, because Islam gives me discipline, Islam gives me hope, Islam gives me the light that I need, and it wiped away all of those sins that I did before. Subhanallah. It wiped all my sins away, meaning that he has certainty that Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah is a new beginning. And that's hope, and that's what people need.
لكن الورد كل الحكايات قص وبين الأماني خبايا وثن